But these higher centers do not govern all the emotional life. In crucial times of heart and especially in emotional emergencies, they can be said to defer to limbic system. The emotional areas are intertwined via now. There is an example. For example, a father left his daughter with a friend in a home, and he went for work. Those two kids were playing in the home, and suddenly the daughter's friend went to her home, and she was all alone. And the daughter decided to play a prank with the father. She hid herself behind the door or in a closet. And when the father came home, he saw that all the house was a mess and he could not hear the voices of the kids. He was fearful. What happened? Where is my daughter? I could not see. And where are the two kids? He thought somebody has entered the house. He took his revolver and in a state of very alertness, he entered the room. And when he entered the room, the daughter came out of the closet to suddenly surprise her father to say a boo. And in a reaction, the father shot her daughter and she was dead. What is this? This is a condition where the back brain alerted the father and the message from the thalamus did not went to the neocortex that you should relax and see who is coming out of the closet. Suddenly, the back brain alerted and the father shot the daughter. This condition is known as emotional hijacking. I will try to explain this in details. The amygdala is the main center of fear. Amygdala, when the information comes from the sensory nerves to the thalamus that no, something is alert in the house. There is nobody there, somebody has entered the house because the kids are not there. The amygdala alerts. The main function of amygdala is fear, to create fear, to create the patient in panic. From the thalamus, one relay goes to the thalamus and the other relay goes to the neocortex for a rational thinking that no, your daughter must be sleeping or she must be hiding or she must be in the home only. Don't take the rifle and go and see where she is. This is the work of rational brain. But amygdala alerted. The relay to the amygdala was so fast that the amygdala created a panic state and the father shot the girl. The neocortex was not able to answer to the thalamus that or to the amygdala that you settle down, nothing is wrong, and he shot. This is called emotional hijacking. Emotional hijacking is your rational brain is not working. Your back brain and your emotional brain is so strongly that it has overpowered the rational brain. This is called emotional hijacking. For example, the children, usually the children, which we will discuss, and in the case also which I'm going to discuss with you, the child does not know where to react. He picks up things and he throws things in angers. He run away on the in the roads. What is this? The neocortex is the amygdala is not giving a chance for the neocortex to give a rational thinking, and emotional hijacking is there. The persons who do not know where to react, slapping the child, slapping your kids, and slapping him again and again and again and again that you have done wrong. The neocortex shut down, only amygdala working. Panic state. These are the conditions which we call emotional hijacking. There was another example I was reading somewhere that a person went to a cafe for having a coffee, and he was sitting near the riverside and he was having a coffee, and far away he saw that a lady in a very panic state, her eyes were and her face was so fearful, and she was looking in the water in the river. He thought, without any thinking, he ran away, and in the suit, boot and tie, he jumped into the water. And when he jumped into the water, what he saw under the water was there was a child who was drowning in the water, who was sinking in the water. That was not the lady who was sinking. So neocortex did not give a chance for him the amygdala did not give a chance to the neocortex to think. Action was there. And this action, as I said before, this action is a work of which brain? The back brain, the primitive brain, where you have only few action, pre-programmed. That is what I'm saying, that the last brain is pre-programmed. What to do? Go and dive in the water. No other thinking, what to do and what not to. If your neocortex work, you have a rational thinking that the lady is sitting outside, I can put a rope, I can do some other things, I can remove my suit and boot and go and whatever. But those thinkings were being shut down by the neocortex. So this is another example of telling you how emotional hijacking works, how these things go on. Emotional explosions are neural hijackings. At those moments, evidence suggests a center in the limbic brain proclaims an emergency. There is a center which proclaims emergency, and that center is amygdala, recircuiting the rest of the brain to its agenda. The amygdala has a so strong effect on the brain that the whole brain recircuits according to amygdala. The hijacking occurs in an instant. It occurs within seconds, triggering this reaction, crucial moments before the neocortex, the thinking brain, has had a chance to glimpse fully what is happening, let alone decide if it is a good idea. The hallmark of such hijack is that once the moment passes, those so possessed have the sense of not knowing what came over them. When the moment passes, when the things have gone, then when amygdala settles down, then the neocortex comes in action, and then the patient says, what happened to me? I was not like this. In that patient, when Maharani came, she was in an aggressive form. But when Maharani go, she became Charlie, very docile, very, very polite, very, very mild, and very, very fearful. Because she did not, when she was in an aggressive mood, after that she says, I don't know what happened. It was not under my control. And I forgot. There was nothing which I remember that what was going on. Right? So this is emotional hijacking. Emotional sentinel. The research has shown that sensory signal from ear or eye travels to the brain. First, as I told you, whatever the sensory organs, aapne dekha, suna, will go first to the thalamus. Thalamus is your main principal of the school. First, it will go to the thalamus and then across a single synapse to the amygdala. One relay will go to the amygdala, and second from the thalamus goes to the neocortex. This I have already explained. I am reading it. The second goes to the neocortex, and which is your thinking brain. This branching allows the amygdala to begin to respond before the neocortex, right? The same thing which we have discussed, that the amygdala responds before your rational brain, which nulls the information through several levels of brain circuit before it fully perceives, and finally initiates its more finely tailored responses. This circuit does much to explain the power of emotion to overwhelm rationality. This is the condition where emotions get havi, where emotions get overpowered on your rational brain, on your thinking brain. The emotions have overruled them. In a very simple language, the emotions have overruled them. For example, a mother becomes very possessive for the child. She phones her, telephones her again and again, again and again, again and again, guiding her again and again through thins and thicks of the life, through the loopholes of the life. She does not allow the child to be very independent. She does not allow the child to make her own decisions. She says, no, every decision will go through me because I'm very possessive. Why? Because the child gets married also, and then also she is telephoning her 1,000 times a day. The girl is also telling everything to the mother, and the mother is taking in charge and control of the home, because the mother, the neocortex has been hijacked. The neocortex is not giving a rational thinking to the mother that now the girl is married, you don't have to interfere in her home, because amygdala is at an alert, and the primitive brain is in action. Correct? So these are the various examples of telling you how our neural circuits get hijacked. What Dr. Hahnemann has said, in the same thing he is being telling us in the aphorisms. Almost all so-called mental and emotional diseases are nothing more than the corporeal diseases in which the symptoms of the derangement of the mind and disposition peculiar to each of them is increased. In a very simple language, what he says is that your neocortex is being shut down and only your middle and back brain is in action, right? In the patients, in the patient jiska maine aapko example diya, the patient who has Maharani in her and Charlie in her, the neocortex is shut down and only the derangement of mind and disposition is increased. There is no bodily symptom. The patient is perfectly fine. There is no physical symptom. Only mind is in alert. Only mind is in trouble because both the brains are in action. The forebrain is not in action. It has been hijacked. So Dr. Hahnemann says in mental and emotional diseases, in both mental diseases, we will discuss in the next class. We are today discussing only emotional diseases. In both are nothing more than the corporeal disease in which the symptoms, they are same as the body's disease, but there is nothing on the physical level. Only the symptoms of the derangement of mind and disposition peculiar to each of them is increased. Only one symptom is increased, that is mental symptom, emotional symptom, while the corporeal symptom decline. बॉडी पर कोई सिम्टम नहीं होगा या कम होगा, या पहले अगर if somebody is suffering from a physical symptom, that will decrease till at length it attains the most striking one-sidedness. That is why Dr. Hahnemann has termed these diseases in one-sided diseases, because the neocortex is not working and only pre-programmed brain is doing what it has already been pre-programmed. There is no other physical symptom on the body. We would not get much symptoms from these patients. We would only get the patient is aggressive. He throws things. He run away from house. He does not eat something. His sleep is disturbed. He is very, very irrational in some things. Okay? But we will not get any other symptom. Even the mother and father would come and they would explain in the same way. They would not say anything, or they would say that this patient does not learn. He's very weak in studies. He's aggressive. He this and this and this and this, but they will not give us any other symptom. These are termed as one-sided diseases because we could not get a whole picture of the disease, right? Almost as though it were a local disease in the invisible, subtle organ of mind and disposition. Now the level of the disease is at the level of mind and disposition. Okay? The same thing which the other sciences are saying, the same thing Dr. Hahnemann has termed in Organon of Medicine.